G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing in the color blue as the Rus once again. Representing Izzy Esports, it's MarineLord. And on the south side of the map, playing as the Malians in the color red. Representing Team GP, it's Leenock. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 5 in this series. If you haven't had it spoiled for you already, let me go ahead and do it. MarineLord is currently on match point, 3-1 against Leenock. He won the last game, it was impressive. And if you've watched the entire series, you might be wondering, hold on a minute, why is MarineLord on the Rus again? Well, that's the way the picking system works for the Red Bull Wallalore once you get to these stages. It's actually double civilization picks. So the way it works is you can only play a civilization once depending on how many times you pick it. And if you pick it once, you get to play it once. If you pick it twice, you get to play it twice. But for civilizations like the Rus, which are a little bit stronger, I suspect it might be rare that you actually get the double pick off. MarineLord now moving out with the double scouts. He's got a beautiful hunting cabin up here to the north. 24 gold on the base level. This one's going to potentially be sitting at like, what, 50 gold in the late game? That's insane. That is a huge amount of wood that it has got covered there. But we do see the third scout now going to be coming out. The map, of course, is Basin. If you weren't already familiar with this map, well, let me introduce it to you and explain how it works. So you start off on, I guess I'd call it kind of like a cliff on a bit of a hill. And the way that it works is you're on, or there's a basin in the middle. So think of like your sink in your kitchen or anything like that. It kind of goes down in the middle. Well, it's the same thing here. So you've got this Thunderdome in the middle, this giant Great Plain that just enables you to battle. And even though it's a very open map, we often see people walling across the entirety of the map. You often see, like, I remember watching The Muslim, and he's just like, he walls from here, and he's like, all right, and click. And he walls across the entire map. It is very common for players to wall across this map, despite it being an open map. So expect to see walls out today from these two players. And MarineLord, definitely the kind of guy who's going to be walling up. He knows that once he gets a little bit of a lead, he needs to secure it. And one of the best ways to do that is by walling up. All right, well, we'll ride on board with Leenock and see how he's opening so far. He's got a villager here just picking up the lumber on the lumber camp. So interestingly, not going off the straggler trees. That is typically the most common way that we see players do it. And only just going with the two of the houses. Now, I think in the last game, we talked a little bit about the fact that Leenock hadn't played the Malians or hadn't played the Ottomans. I think that may be incorrect. I think he has actually played the civilizations. Is he trying to leash them? Leenock, hey Leenock, where do you think you're going, mate? Hey, buddy. hey, mate, where you going? Oh, and then they fall off. I wonder if Leenock realizes that they're falling off. Oh, poor Leenock. I don't think he's read through the patch notes, or if he has, oh, there's so many out here as well. Look at this. It's 4 up here, and I think Leenock's just going to leave them over to MarineLord. So look, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough right now, but I did say in that last video that I didn't think MarineLord had, or rather Leenock had played the new civilizations, but I think he's actually played them. I think he just uninstalled the beta to go back and play on the ladder for a little bit, and then he rejoined. A little bit of a mistake right there from MarineLord. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but he had idle villagers for quite some time. But yeah, I think he jumped across back off the pup, and now he's come back onto the pup, and that explains it. But anyway, Man's Quarry coming up from him right next to the town center. 6 villagers going to be tapping away here, so I'm curious what direction he goes for, whether he's opting for a bit of a Donzo opening, whether he thinks about a second town center. Obviously, the Rus love to play that economic focus, so don't be surprised to see a second or even a third town center coming out from MarineLord today. We did actually witness a game with him earlier in the day where he made a grand total of 2 town centers, when he had the option for to go for that third town center. Definitely was open, but he looked to play it safe. So perhaps that's the direction that he looks to play this one as well. Now, we can't actually see the bounty of the Rus player, despite MarineLord being a Rus player. It's one of the consequences of playing with the new UI. Now, I could show you guys. Actually, do you want me to show you? Do I dare show you guys right now? I'd have to turn off this UI and get the other UI back on. I mean, it would just be like for an old time's sake thing, right? Maybe that's what we do. Let's do it. I'm going to flip you guys back to the regular UI, and you'll see in the top right-hand corner the game time is still going up because this is a live game at the moment. But you can see he's sitting on 340 bounty at the moment. So we'll switch it back now to caster mode. It might be a little bit fuzzy until we get in there, and we'll actually bring in the villager count so you can see exactly how many villagers are in there. But not a bad little bounty for MarineLord. Looks like wolves are still getting cleaned up over this side, but I suspect MarineLord probably took out about 3 of them. Yeah, definitely a nice little haul. Warrior Scouts now coming in as well for Leenock as he begins adding in the final houses around this pit mine. Second pit mine yet to go up, but he is moving out onto stone, which indicates it's probably going to be a second town center for him. Scouts are turning their attention towards the house, and warrior scouts expect Leenock to be over here shortly. Now, I've spoken about warrior scouts before, but I typically advocate if you're going to go for warrior scouts, then you pretty much want to be opening up with a second scout. Now, I haven't been paying 100% attention, but I can only see 2 scouts, and I know one of them was just produced from this stable. So I'd have to go back and review the logs, and judging by the scouting pattern, opening up against the Rus with only 1 scout, it's dangerous living, Leenock. Age up now coming through from Marine Lord. He reaches the feudal age, and we'll see exactly what he goes for. It's going to be a stable opening for him as well. And we can see he's already got 489 wood in the bank. So really stacking up that wood. Going to be going for a second town center himself. Now, we don't know how much information he's got about what his enemy's up to. But we can suspect that he probably knows Leenock is thinking about that second town center. Beautiful job here cleaning out the scouts. Keep in mind, warrior scouts do quite well against normal scouts. So the Rus love to go for normal scouts. So it naturally feels like a pretty good matchup for the Malians. So let's see if Leenock can pull one out here today. All right. Well, we'll ride back on board on the south side and see exactly how Leenock is doing. He's up to 200 stone at the moment. Keep in mind, he's going to need 350 stone to add down that town center. Town centers having been nerfed are a little bit different, and we start to see warrior scouts moving out across the map. He's got 5 in total at the moment. We saw a warrior scout earlier, game earlier yesterday. So it looks like we might have another one potentially coming out. Whether we see it all the way up to elite warrior scouts, that's going to be the question or not, because these ones are definitely very potent in the early game, and we can see him moving around the base, looking to try and find a way in, trying to hit those villagers, but he is going to spot that knight on the way back in. Keep in mind, the scouts are always going to be able to heal themselves. I was going to say repair themselves. They're going to be able to heal themselves up. Quite an expensive unit, though, up to 90 food, so you're just a little bit shy of a horseman. A horseman obviously being 100 food and 20 wood. I guess the wood cost really being the difference there. Makes it very easy to macro for. But now we see villagers moving up over towards this west side. It's going to be a town center that's coming down. He's got to be careful, though. Wants to place down that TC, but with the knight looming here, he's going to be on the defensive. Let's see what the knight looks to do, rather. What the knight looks to do. Coming through. Warrior scout's going to be able to repel this position. We can see him actually hitting away at the scout here as well. We'll check in with Marine Lord as he stacked up all that wood. He's up to 800 wood. Marine Lord, did you forget that you're playing the Rus and thought you were playing the Mongols for a second? What's going on? Now we see professional scouts coming through for Leenock. He actually cancelled survival techniques and went for professional scouts. A beautiful charge. Great job by Leenock, and micro coming out from Leenock. Look at Leenock right now with the micro. He's trying to get through on this very heavy armor of the knight, but not finding a lot of success, unfortunately. He's going to continue chasing it around, but all of the scouts making it out. One of them does manage to go down. He's trying his best to pick up the early knight, but beautiful micro coming out from both of these guys. And it looks like Leenock's going to have to fall back from this position. Keep in mind, the town center should be up by now, and indeed, the town center is up. This town center not going to be denied in this position, but Leenock, no more stone being gathered up. He's picked up all the stone that he needed. Pit mine going to be on gold as well, so don't even think about that one. And now we've got Donzo production going to be coming in shortly as he begins dropping down the backs. Marine Lord beginning to go for that second town center. He's got a nice little spot here. I don't think he's actually going to be able to fit it in. No, he's not. And instead dropping it in on the stealth forest, so he's going to be very blind here. Even once this town center goes up, he's still going to have no line of sight in here. If there's one change I would make to secondary town centers, it's that they could see through stealth forests. I don't like that they can't see through stealth forests, because you're quite literally blind all around this position, and you have to put an outpost here to actually get any vision. So that's a change I would make. I don't know if that change has actually come through, but we will see shortly, as I suspect he's probably... Yeah, you can see he's shift-clicked onto the deer and not going to be going onto the wood. He would go onto the wood if he didn't shift-click, though. The villagers prioritize that. Speaking of priorities, look at this. We've got ourselves a potential harassment issue now as the knights make their way through. Sofa going to be coming out as well. Make sure you don't sleep on that bad boy. He's incredibly strong. Once he gets to the late game as well, he's going to start destroying things. And town center coming out, and as we successfully indicated earlier, there is no line of sight at all. In fact, you can't even see the right side of your town center. If you've got sheep over here, you can't see them. If you've got vills over here, you can't see them. I mean, you can see them because they provide line of sight, but you get where I'm coming from. So it just makes sense to me to have even just base line of sight. I don't care. Just get a small amount of line of sight around the TC, because I don't know. I feel so dangerous. Third town center now coming in for Marine Lord as well. Look at this. Couldn't actually fit the town center in amongst all of the deer. Instead, going to be opting for that instead. And keep in mind, Marine Lord was on 350 bounty before. This will take him up to 425. This over here will take him over 500 and he'll hit that threshold. But now up towards the north, it looks like Leenock might be going for the deer that MarineLord is expanding to. And MarineLord very fortunately picks these up before they actually make the connection. If they got up there and looked to take that out, it would be disastrous for him. And now going to be coming in with the walls. There's a little bit of a weird... What is going on right here with the wood line? There's a way through right here. I don't even think MarineLord realizes it just because it's got this kind of dark pattern on the ground. If you look... How do we... That was really loud. Was that really loud, that whistle? I don't know. It kind of blasted my ear. It was the right ear in particular. Donzo's now moving out. And MarineLord going to be on the defensive once again. He should be able to... I mean, you can't really break through these walls. I guess you could try and chop through, but even that's probably not going to work. He's continuing to move past. He's only got 5 of the scouts, so I expect that they'll go down as he continues to look for it. And he actually tried to pinch away a couple of the deer here. Unsuccessful on that south side. Knights coming through, hit the charge. It looks like it was on a scout. Donzo's getting a throw off. One of the Knights going to go down. He continues chasing, and the Donzo's going to be able to force that position back. With this, Leenock going to be scouting out the town center and going to be going, ugh. You know that sound that you make? Or if you're a Wall Street bets guy, is it what is it? I'm trying to think. He makes a good sound. Anyway, I digress. MarineLorD's expansion looking solid though. He's got the 3 TCs up and now going to be dropping down plenty of production. Blacksmith coming down as well. We've seen this before. I actually watched this in a Muslim game where he went 3 TCs before any production. But obviously MarineLord did put a little bit of production down and made plenty of units. Yeah, the defense that you can put up by just having 3 TCs is pretty damn good. Well, we've got an age up coming in behind this, so it looks like it's going to be the Farimba Garrison. So a landmark that we haven't seen for quite some while. The Grand Fulani Council has been, rather the Grand Fulani Corral has been in favor for a lot of players. We've seen many top tier players going for that landmark. And now on the defensive, Leenock's going to be, as his village account slowly gets eclipsed by MarineLord. Donzo's unfortunately going to get picked off here. They get charged at the back, and then we also see archers looking to pick them off, so a little bit out of position. But with that Farimba Garrison coming up now, he's going to be able to get out units that are able to take out the enemy. Now, what units do you go for in this position? You can go for javelin throwers to deal with the archers. You could go for Donzos to deal with the early knights, or you could potentially go for Musofadi warriors. And I know that sounds... Oh, you know what? They're countered by archers. Don't bother. Knights coming through. Going to be hitting the villagers. Villager count slowly dwindling here. MarineLord picking up villagers from Leenock. He loses 6 villagers in that single raid. So he could have just put a wall up here and it would have stopped, or he could have realized in time, but unfortunately, he wasn't paying attention. So I guess my issue was that Leenock saw the units come in and attack right here, and then they disappeared in this direction, and then they reappeared here. It was like, I did not see that coming. Still 2 TCs. Pit mine is up over on the west side. 3rd pit mine now coming down on the south side. So slowly, he's not really committing to one side specifically, but rather just kind of expanding out on his own side of the house, or the own side of the map as the high trade house begins coming. Oh no. Oh no, this looks amazing. I mean, it looks amazing. How good is it going to be? Now, I think he's on the 3rd tier here. It says 30 gold a minute. Oh, he's not on the 3rd tier yet. He's not on the 3rd tier. He hasn't killed the boar. This is only going to be a 2 tier one, so I'm going to go with 212. That's my guess. I'm sticking with it. 212. Yeah, maybe a little bit less. Let's go 188. 188. Raid coming through. 188. That's the guess. Let's see. 115? 115? Yo, can I get a refund? That is nowhere near as good as I thought it was going to be. Give me a refund. I've been advocating for that high trade house for very long. Oh, man. You know what? I will say once that bad boy gets up to the full bounty limit, then we're going to be talking business. But for the moment, I mean, it looks good. You look at that and you're like, damn, girl, where'd you find that? Is it? No, it's damn, son, where'd you find this? I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. And then, you know, when it actually comes out, it's terrible. Anyway, Leenock looking to hold on a little bit longer. Villager's going to be moving back away from the pit mine. Now moving back out. Knights heading on through. Both players now in the 3rd age. All right. Mangonel on the front side. Moving into a heavy Donzo combat. And we actually see it's going to be Donzo and Javelin Archer, or Javelin Thrower. Now, I'm a big fan of the Javelin Thrower, as long as there's a timing push involved. I think once it gets to the super late game, Javelin Thrower probably becomes a bit less relevant. Nonetheless, we continue. And we can see it was originally, the plan was originally the Abbey of the Trinity. But he opted for the high trade house. 40 a minute? 40 a minute? Oh, no! No, MarineLord! not like this? MarineLord, what have you done? You were the chosen one. Is that a bug? Hey, I think we just found a bug. The hunting cabin cancels out the income of the high trade house. Let's switch this up. It's cancelled it out completely. So did he have to just put it on the other side over here? What? He's literally making as much gold as a hunting cabin right now. That's not a bug, that's a mechanic. It intentionally reduces the cost and then provides no gold at all. And it's not just reducing the gold from these trees, it's reducing the gold from these and these as well. What the hell? That's a terrible mechanic. You can't have it too close to each other. It's a terrible mechanic. Less incentive to ever make this landmark. Do not make this landmark. This is the worst landmark in the game. Never make this landmark. If that's your intention to have it like that, it is terrible. Because it means you can't take any of the food that's nearby. You can't even make any farms near it. Because look how far away it is. It's like a good 2 tiles away. It's not even picking up the same trees. It's got 4 of the same trees in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even want to watch the fight. I just want to rage about the high trade house and how terrible it is. Devs, if you're watching this, fix this. Fix this. It's not game breaking, but just like if you're playing Rus, just don't make this landmark, alright? It's terrible. I expected it was going to be so much juicier than what it was. And now we're never going to know the truth of how juicy it really was. Ball still out over on the west side. MarineLord taking a little bit of pity on his mother. Sorry, I shouldn't. I need to hold that in. That's looking pretty decent for Leenock though. I got to be honest. I'm liking this position from him. Where's the mangonel? There was a mangonel out here by Leenock. I don't know where the mangonel's gone. He must have thrown it away to maybe a springald or two. All right, Donzo's now moving off. Looking to try and get in on the action. We enter into the cinematic mode as the Donzos move forward. Scouts coming around the side as well, and the javelin throwers throwing down their javelins, and look at this beautiful hold on the front side. Mangonel getting forced out of the position, and hold on a minute, the Malians looking incredibly strong here up against this Rus attack or defense. I guess it's probably the best way. Mangonel firing off down towards the oh my lord, that was a lot of damage on the backside. He's looking for a second shot. He might be able to hit it. Leenock, you gotta wake up. Leenock, you gotta wake up. Leenock, you gotta wake up. And 4 of the javelin throwers going down. And with this, the defense by MarineLord looking solid. He pulls up by about 1,000 points here in this defense. The Mangonel coming in MVP right there. I don't think I've ever seen a more MVP Mangonel, but I don't think it really would have made the difference as now MarineLord looks to try and absolutely turn the tables here. That mango is just, that is the stuff dreams are made of. And now the Malia defense is going to be coming through, but the timing here is with MarineLord. Not only does he have the tech, not only does he have the economy, not only does he have the military, he's got the victory. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. MarineLord taking 3rd place in this event. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed this series between these two guys. Look, you probably predicted it went this way, that MarineLord would come up victorious against Leenock. I'm sure many people did. But can you predict the results of the next series, which is going to be our grand final? Beastie Cutie up against Casva. And Casva 2-0'd Beastie in the group stage. We'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'm hoping you're looking forward to that grand final.